Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your June 2018 reading. My name is Donatella and I will be doing your forecast for this month. This month your reading will be divided into two portions. As always, I have written something in the beginning about your astrology chart, and the next portion is your tarot reading. If you find this reading resonating with you and you need to contact me, please feel free to reach me at Donatella Empress of Swords. And also, if you'd like to get a different menu of the different types of services that I offer, please also reach me and let me know what the situation is and what kind of services that I can offer you as well. Okay, so as we left the season of Taurus, the sun was in Gemini from May 21st to June 21st. We enter the season of Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication. Gemini is the sign of duality. So during this season, we can find a duality in ourselves and others, and it causes us to want to increase our communication. We can feel the need to be more social, talkative, and whimsical. But remember, you can also feel very indecisive or even nosy. This is a time you will feel the need to strengthen your communication with active listening. This is where you practice your mirroring skills. After a person is done talking, it's really important that you play back what they have said, especially if it's an important matter. There's a 3-step process into problem solving, and the first process is empathizing, reassuring, and resolving. When there is a lack of positive communication, Sagittarius, meaning that there's no listening, no compromising, no security, there's judgment, there's blame, you'll find yourself naturally wanting and needing loopholes and even feel weaker as a result. As human beings, when your needs are not met, even just by a natural way of communication, it can make a person feel like they need to scavenger just to satisfy their hunger. In that sense, we become animals when we go into starvation. Starvation can be from lack of air, meaning sometimes you just need space, or food, water, sex, homeostasis, meaning fluctuations and not feeling balanced, even to the point that it could cause death. Excretion, whether it's your feelings you need to purge or you just need to excrete something you've always wanted to get rid of. But most people just need to talk to others, just to find out how to problem solve, and a lot of the time people are not intuitive. They are not aware of what direction you want to go. You need to know that setting your GPS always has to stay on, and even at a much higher frequency, because one false move doesn't just affect you, it affects your family, your children, your stability, your finance, and other things that are important to you. There can be negative influences from many different facets in your life, and sometimes it's not just the people, but music, environment, and the feelings of lack. Satisfying the hunger from loopholes can mean talking to others about internal issues, the parties that are outside of the relationship that can cause a conflict, meaning family and friends. Going to others for a solution rather than the person you have issues with. A lot of that can mean sometimes the answer is just compromise. Turning your feelings off with drugs and alcohol. Using forms of numbing your feelings will block the intuitive nudges your body has been trying to show you. There is a reason why your stomach feels funny when you don't feel good about certain situations. These are sensors, and the more we block ourselves, it becomes like a callus to heal a broken heart. Numbing yourself with shopping or gambling. As we find distractions, we cause ourselves to get into debt, adding more than just relationship issues, but now adding debt into the mix. Finding different sexual partners or even new family and friends to replace old wounds. Distracting yourself in ways that you don't have to feel pain. Social distractions, religious distractions, overeating, immersing oneself into work can also serve as a distraction. You will understand that distractions have their own time and place. This is just a temporary time of suspension. The question is, how long do you want to sit in it? Because also in June is also one of the most entertaining times of 2018. Most weddings are in the months of June. A lot of celebrations and gatherings are in the month starting during this time. Gemini in the deck of tarot is actually the Lover's card and the Soulmate card. It's accepting the duality of souls, both different but divinely paired, like salt and the pepper shaker. Both perfectly set on the dinner table, always, however, but they're completely different, which is why they are so awesomely paired. Okay, so when it comes to Gemini, because this is the season that we're in, you will feel an insatiable thirst for knowledge, especially in the communication department. It's more of an airy energy, a breeze of insight into being excited to accept what is. You have a sense of bird of a feather flock together, the idea of having a combination of a dynamic duo, or even a group collaboration of collective ideas. As you go through this month, think about the next group of relationships and friendships you want to regroup with. Will they be a positive force? Now it's up to you, Sagittarius. This is a time when others can come together and have a chance to talk and open up the Pandora box and see what we are willing to pull out and lock up. And when it comes to love, during the period of May 14th and June 9th, which recently passed, feeling loving, poetic, and romantic. Venus also influences the feelings of emotions. Venus is said to be the goddess of beauty, love, marriage, and relationship. Gemini has the insatiable thirst for knowledge and communication. So this has a lot to do with how you feel about your own relationships. The new moon will be in Gemini on June 13th, which is also considered the lucky stars day. So watch out for that day. The June 2018 new moon gives good fortune to finding protection to yourself and your loved ones. It predicts good fortune to lasting happiness and being well known. A new moon is a valuable time to set new goals, so this is an especially suitable time to start a new project. This is also an indicator that will enhance your business. You'll want to surround yourself with favorite people, with luxuries, pleasures, clothes, entertainment, and much more. The full moon on Thursday, June 28, 2018 is at Capricorn, 6 degrees. Also during this time, Saturn will be in retrograde. Saturn is the ruler and the limiter, making rules and structures. Capricorn represents through hard work, perseverance, you will find success and long-lasting results. Okay, so during this full moon, it'll give you the initiative and the resourcefulness, meaning that you will be restructured in a way that works for you, especially after the last months when the full moon was heightened than the truth. During the next 2 weeks, you are likely to feel more serious than usual, experience sadness, guilt, fear, restriction, or inhibition. However, you will be severely tested to make sure you get what it is that you truly want. During this time, you will feel a positive push for your life and a willingness to break free. What are you choosing to walk away from? These positive factors are not strong as Saturn retrograde, so you will have to work very hard to make sure that the changes in your life are what you want and need. There may be a sense of going backwards in the way that we structure to fix things as we move forward. So from April 17th all the way until September 6th, people are working backwards to restructure what had fallen apart during the last fall and the previous year. So if you've been having a very difficult year, right now it's supposed to reverse back, structurize, and then there will be a portal that opens up in September. So in September, there will be a portal of major changes, whichever way that you started directing back in April. But during this time, which is Gemini season, it'll teach us to accept the good and the bad and ask you to see the Pandora box in front of you. Realize what you are willing to sacrifice, for. But unless you know the truth, and knowing the truth means allowing others to be vulnerable, to know that there can always be a solution if that is a position that you want. You must understand, to have someone like that, you also must open up in a vulnerable way, an accepted, nurtured way, through the healing of communication, with thorough compassion, empathy, and resolution. Okay. So once you are secure in your energy in a much more positive way, you will only project what is more positive if you constantly feed it that water. All right, so Sagittarius, let's get to your reading now. Okay. So during this time, you're not really listening to your intuitive nudges. This is the High Priestess card, and it's upside down. It's telling me that you're really not listening to your intuition. And what's blocking you is because the reason why you're not listening to your intuition is because you really badly want to make an agreement happen. Whether it's a relationship that you're trying to push and make happen, or you're trying to close a deal right now, or there's a contract that you want to have, or there's a marriage that you want, or there's something that you're really pushing towards. And it's telling me that you're not listening to your intuition because you keep pushing towards it and keep pushing towards it. The reason why is because you don't feel like you're fruitful. You feel like you should have been somewhere at a stage of your life right now where you should have been financially okay. And I have a feeling like you've been struggling for a while. You've been wanting to do things financially. You've had a lot of you've been really working hard towards your ideas and thoughts, or even some of you have went back to school. But I feel like it's been really hard to get the fruit out of it. And it could be because a long time ago, there's a Tower card, but it's upside down. And it took a long time to build back up again. So I feel like there was a tower in your life that made you collapse very hard. And since that time, you've restructured yourself. You've pulled yourself out of that. But as you have been growing from that, your ships have not been coming in. And that's kind of like what you feel right now. Like your ships are not coming in. You're waiting, and your ships are not coming in. But what I want you to know is that the Judgment card is upright, and what is fair is actually about to come up very soon. It just depends on, are you doing something right now to get to that next step, or are you allowing things to hinder you? Because there's ships are supposed to be coming in right now, so there must be a reason why these ships are not coming in. Are you making all the phone calls that you're supposed to be making? Are you waiting on someone? Were you supposed to wait on yourself? Is there another way around this? Is there another thing that you could do? Because I feel like the more that you wait on this, it's going to feel like you're going to be deprived financially. So, and then you're not going to be able to talk about it, and then you're going to want to stay by yourself, and you're not going to want to talk to anyone. You're not going to want to travel anywhere. And if this is the case, then you're going to feel like you're being tortured at night when you're sleeping, and it's not going to make you feel good. So let me see what the reason for this is. There should be, I honestly feel like this is because you wanted to make that contract push through, and you're not thinking outside the box. You're thinking that this is the only way to go through. Okay. Let's see what happens if you have it your way, or let's see what happens when we shuffle the cards and we start thinking outside the box. Stop going through the avenues that you had went through. Let's see what happens. I'm going to shuffle the cards now. What's the best outcome scenario if you don't push through this contract? You're going to pick up heavy burdens. But as soon as you start picking up those heavy burdens, the Hangman starts becoming in reverse. You're pulling your leg out of it. So there's some weight that you don't want to carry right now. And that's what's really hindering the solution. Okay, so this is starting to make some sense. Okay. And you feel like you don't have strength inside of you. There's like a lack of energy. All right. Sagittarius, you could have a water sign near you. Either this person is a Cancer, or a Scorpio, or a Pisces. They can have it in their sun, moon, or ascending sign. But this person is really caring. And I don't know if this person is a friend of yours or just someone really close to you. there's a person that does nurture you, Sagittarius, and they're very sweet. Like, they say a lot of sweet things. This person, when you talk to them, you know, maybe at times they're not so generous and you feel like you're waiting on them. If this person does not have water in their chart, they're just someone that, like, you know, they are sweet to you, but they're just not generous sometimes. And you feel like you're constantly waiting and waiting and waiting. And I just feel like this is just the waiting game. And I feel like if you just push through, the waiting stops. The waiting stops. It's you taking the lead, you making the changes, getting everything done, and then you actually sitting, waiting on it, and it's harvesting later on. So if you've been feeling like you've been delaying, Sagittarius, I know that the wait has been very frustrating for you. But what I want you to know is I want you to hang in there. Because at any moment, once you start getting very focused, you'll forget about the time that you've lost. And most likely by the end of this fall, you're going to feel a lot better. But in the time that you're waiting, you really got to do something about it. You can't just wait for those ships to keep coming in. There's something that you have to do differently. Maybe not everybody will agree on it right now. You are going to have to possibly pick up some burdens, but you will be very happy at the end. As long as it's in the much positive way, in the positive direction that you want to go. Okay, guys, this is going to conclude your June 2018 reading, Sagittarius. I really hope that you guys like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys at the end of this month. There will be a culmination reading. And at the next months to come, too, as well. I love you guys. I'll see you guys. Have a great one.